and welcome to week 7 of the NFL season on Winning Picks Weekly. I am John Meleka with my co-host, Greg Albert, my co-host, my buddy, my pal, Greg Albert. What up, Greg?
What's going on, man? Ready for another week? Week 7. We're hitting the middle of the season, separating the boys from the men.
If you haven't caught Greg and I, Greg was a guest on the Jets episode for the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast for this upcoming week for the Patriots week. So if you haven't heard that, tune in there. Alex is on his honeymoon week, so shout out to Alex. The Predications, you can catch him on Knicks Fan TV in the post game Sunday night, and we'll have the Jets rapid reaction for that too. So he won't miss him for too much. Yeah, he's right around the corner.
Yeah,
But
so that's
Greg,
the big one. Knicks, etc. YouTube. I mean, really everywhere. Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Spotify, Amazon
Instagram.
Alexa. That's everywhere. So go check that out. Talking Knicks, talking Jets, talking etc. So I love it. And on here, Winning Picks Weekly, we dive a little bit more into the gambling side of things. And like I said, we're in the thick of it right now. I had a terrible week last week, John. You held water at 7-7. I think I was 4-10. So didn't
Rough.
drop too much at this point because it's the middle of the year. I've been
But
having
both
weird
2-1 on
weeks.
the best bets, though.
Yeah, 2-1
Both
on
of
the best
us.
bets, which is impossible to. It's like almost impossible to do when you have 4 winning picks. So, I'm locking in on those best bets. I'm happy about that. Almost went 3 and
Silver
0 of the
lining,
Bills. I
baby.
mean, I thought the Bills were going to score at the end of that game. So yeah, but both of us are 2-1 last week on the best bets. We got to hit a teaser or a parlay soon, so we're going to be dialing those up a little bit more.
I mean, we're just reckless with them. I mean, I hit that
Well,
first one because I was like, trying to be precise, but then, man, we've just been reckless with them.
those are big ones. If you hit one or two a season, you're making money. So, yeah, but yeah, let's get into the slate this week because we got some good games. A couple bye weeks now, just like last week. So slate tightens up a little bit. So you got to be a little bit more sharp. And speaking of sharp, last week the public won like crazy. The public was all over. Vegas got killed last week. So I like to think of myself as I had a bad week last week. So does Vegas. That makes me sharp. That makes everyone
Oh,
else suckers.
wow, really hitting the silver lining
Yeah,
this
that's
week.
the spin zone, baby. If you had a good week last week, you're a square. You're a public money Joe. You keep it going. You're not going to win money at the end of the year. So I'm back. I'm fading the public this week. I think Vegas is going to have a good week. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. John, let's talk about our first game.
Let's talk about our first game, and to be transparent, it's halftime right now
Yep.
of the Denver Cleveland game. I know that we both had Denver for this game. We talked about it before, so we both have Denver. I hate this game. I hate Cleveland. I cannot get Cleveland right. That's this year's team for me. I keep watching their games and I hate everything about them. So I finally switched last week and I bet against them, and then they just completely fell apart like a
Yep.
straight up Jenga tower. Just completely, that's like they're literally
Everyone's getting
collapsing to the
hurt.
floor. But they've been hurt and
Yep.
they've been winning games, and that was what was boggling my mind. I was like, all right, let me just flip the switch. Eventually caught up to them, caught up to me. So I took Denver, even though I can't stand the Denver quarterbacks. You keep preaching. You
Play
keep
too
making fun
close.
of me for Mike, this whole Mike Zimmer Minnesota thing, but you keep at the same time preaching Teddy Two Gloves always covers. Meanwhile, the only time he's really covering is when he's with Mike Zimmer in Minnesota.
He's
But I
4-0,
digress.
4-0 as a starter in New Orleans. I think he's above 500 this year right now. We'll see after tonight how this goes. I'm kicking myself because I had Cleveland all day. I mean, I put the spreadsheet together, had Cleveland all day, and then before we started recording, before we kicked off the game earlier around like 7 o'clock, I switched it to Denver because the public was on Cleveland, and I'm kicking myself. Week 1, I said Cleveland's a Super Bowl contender because they have depth. They lose a couple running backs, they lose a couple pass catchers, offensive linemen, defensive players, and I was just saying to myself today, Denver, stick with what you said at the beginning of the year. Cleveland has enough players to weather the storm. They're going to be okay. And of course, I switched at the last minute. And I'm kicking myself right now, but it's halftime. We'll see how Denver comes out in the second half here. But to your point, we're both on Denver for this one. We have Denver plus 3.5. I know the line moved a little bit.
I still think it's easy. By the way, I still think Denver's going to cover not only cover this game. I still think they could win.
Yeah, it's 10-0.
Both teams can't move the ball, can't get first downs right now. At this point, I'm pretty sure Denver does not have a converted third down. I'm pretty sure.
Von Miller just got hurt though. That worries me a little bit. Odell got hurt on Cleveland, so we'll see how it goes.
That's probably a positive for Cleveland. It's probably a addition by subtraction. But yeah, I honestly still like Denver. Even though we're down 10-0 right now, I still like this pick. But speaking of picks we like, and last week you were really worried, man, because we both had a best bet, double best bet,
first ever
on a team, on not only America's team,
yeah,
but a team that's undefeated against the spread. And everybody is talking about them. That's the Dallas Cowboys against the beloved New England Patriots, right? It was America's team versus America's team, right? Quote unquote. And I mean, and Primetime, like, and I'm on a Primetime game. I mean, everything was pointing the wrong direction here, but
it didn't look great too.
I mean, it did not look great at all. That was a wacky end to the game with just a touchdown, interception, everything's nuts.
Big
McCorkle, let's just score. McCorkle is doing McCorkle things.
Yep.
And here we are, Washington plus 9.5 at Green Bay. Washington is everything we said, man. From them exploiting or allegedly exploiting the Sean Taylor thing, where I mean, it's just so makeshift, to Patty Mahomes' brother dancing on the 21 thing. Everything is just a debacle in Washington. Heineke is who we thought he was.
Was that Romeo Cornell?
And we're not letting him off the hook.
Yep.
R.I.P. At Green Bay minus 9.5. This is my best bet, and I see here that you have Green Bay as your best bet too. So talk to me about this game, man. I think this is finally the Aaron Rodgers game. He has not had a great year. I know they're 5-1. I know he has not had any good games. Honestly, I think this is finally going to be the one at home. Washington has to travel. They absolutely stink. I can't believe they have 2 wins, but I think Green Bay is going to blow out of the water. How do you see this game going, man? Why is this your best bet?
I mean, before we got together, we look at the games individually. I love Green Bay in this one. I think they're going to be strong. They're banged up, so that's what gives me a little concern. It gave me a little concern last week. So I was on Chicago. Can't be on Washington at this point. 1:00 game. This just seems like this is going to be Aaron Rodgers all day on red zone. Offense is going to be clicking. Offense is going to be rolling against this banged up or just bad Washington defense. To your point, I think Washington just has too many things going on off the field, and it's giving them troubles on the field. So, I mean,
they have a worse injury report this week than the Packers. The Packers are actually getting healthier, with at least Kevin King limited practice. They have some people come back. Washington is actually adding some guys to so they're trending in the opposite direction.
And Washington just has those skill players, wide receivers, and running backs that are banged up, which makes me worried.
McLaurin not practicing is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, him not practicing. I think Gibson's not practicing. So, yeah, and then, Green Bay, they're moving in the right direction, but Bakhtiari's like maybe practicing, but he's not going to be back. I know Jair Alexander's is on the IR, but I don't know if he's out for the season. And then I was surprised, but the linebacker that they just got from Dallas, I'm blanking on his name right now. He just had back surgery, so he's out for like 10 weeks or something like that.
I've just been keeping my eye on Josh Myers.
Okay.
Their center. He's a big part of their team. Like they're not gonna click until he's in there.
Yeah.
But they could have a game, and Aaron Rodgers with no pass rush.
Yeah, and I just think that
at home, I just think Devontae Adams game. I think Aaron Jones is gonna have a game, and I think 10 points is a nice number. I think Green Bay best bet is pretty easy for me here.
Yeah, I mean we did
Might
good
be
last
too
week.
easy.
We did last week with a double best bet. So why not run it back to kick us off? Double best bet Green Bay -9.5 at home. I love it. Lock it in.
Is it worry that does it worry you at all that it's too easy? If this game feels like it
Yeah,
should be 12 and a half.
of course. Like I said, I'm trying to fade the public every game. This is the only game that I'm going against the public, or I'm going with the public on. Um,
Okay.
just
Wow. Okay.
because.
So let's see. That's an easy transition into the next game.
Sure.
Easy transition, and you know, you keep hating on me, and you keep hating on this team, and it's the Kansas City Chiefs
They stink.
-5.5 road favorites at the Tennessee Titans +5.5, which is kind of wild. Derrick Henry absolutely murdering the rushing stats. I think the second place team is the second place running back
Yep.
is closer to last place than he is to Derrick Henry when it comes to stats.
Yeah, I mean, we're a gambling podcast. If you can find it out there, if you were betting every game, Derrick Henry to score 2 or more touchdowns, you are 3-3 on the year. You are plus 44 units. So if you're a $100 better, you're at $4,400 right now. He's obviously a freak of nature. He's in a league of his own. He's got a shot at MVP. I'm interested in what those odds are. If there's someone that's going to win it that's not a quarterback, I got a feeling it's Tennessee. Tennessee just beat the best team in the NFL, Buffalo Bills, at home this past week. Could be prime for a letdown spot. Kansas City Chiefs, they're kind of battling. They might try to, if they come out here and they play strong, okay, I could see that. But public's on Kansas City. Public's always on Kansas City. They don't cover. Tennessee at home, 5.5.
Listen, man, they covered last week. You can't say they don't cover. They covered last week.
They cover sometimes. I mean, everyone covers sometimes. I mean, the Jets cover sometimes. So,
Just once.
Yeah.
Not
I
sometimes.
I think the Chiefs are maybe once or twice too. I mean, they're right at the bottom every year. So, I like Tennessee in this one. I think that they're stronger than what people expected. 4-2 right now. If they can get to 5-2 with some signature wins, I mean, they're looking good, especially in that division. They're looking good. So, I like Tennessee in this one. Who are you taking in this one?
Okay, yeah. Kansas City is 1-11-1 against the spread in the last 13 games. So I'm with you there.
I've been trying to
I
take
can't
out
argue
posters.
facts.
I've been trying to put up billboards. I've been trying to tell the world they stink.
Going in, but they hit last week, so
Yeah.
that doesn't include that stat.
They're one of the last one.
One of the last one, but Tennessee getting points at home, regardless of who it's against, I feel like I'm taking that.
You know what? Because you're doing that, this is my what am I missing game of the week. Like I'm so mad about this thing. Like, what am I missing? How is Tennessee getting 5.5 points? I need you reach us out, Winning P Weekly on Twitter. Let us know what am I missing. What do I not get about this? This seems so easy. We talked about Green Bay. I'm more confident in this bet. I'm surprised this isn't one of my best bets. What am I missing?
I agree. I actually agree. I feel like I could make this my best bet right now.
Yeah.
This is why is I'm not going to, but why is Tennessee? I'm with you on this. I'm with you on the what am I missing here? Because why is Tennessee +5.5 at home giving points to the Kansas City Chiefs who don't cover, like statistically don't cover? It's not. This is. It's now a trend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they got a running back, so even if Kansas City they can win by 3 points. But even on paper, Tennessee is a better team.
Kansas City has no one on defense. Their whole offense is hurt.
Yo,
We talked about it last week.
This is interesting, man. This is interesting. This is really interesting, Greg.
Okay.
Now that we're talking it out, this is an interesting game. I think I love Tennessee.
Yeah. I think rightfully so. You know who I absolutely don't love and I can't figure out what to do week in and week out?
Yeah.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Dude,
and the Miami Dolphins. And they play this week.
I figured Oh, I figured out the Miami Dolphins.
This is
Ask me whatever.
tragic.
What do you need? What do you need? The Miami Dolphins are horrific.
So it's an
Are
easy
horrific.
bet. So it's an easy bet on Atlanta, right? That's who I had all day today. I said
Easy
Atlanta,
bet.
easy. Miami, they stink. But me knowing me, if I think Atlanta, it's gonna go opposite. So I'm taking Miami in this one. Miami plus
Thank
2.5.
God.
It's disgusting. I hate
Thank the
myself
Lord.
for it. But 1-5 Miami. I can't believe that they're 1-5 at home, getting points.
Oh,
Again, not even a field goal. That kills me. Plus 2.5. I'm still taking it. I'm still taking
wait.
it.
Why can't you believe that they're 1-5? That they got the win?
Against the Buffalo Bills too, right? Is that who they beat?
Yeah, they should be. How did they even get a win? This team is awful. Of course, they want to trade for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
Of course,
they're rebuilding.
This team is horrific. I can't believe that people were calling for this team to win the division coming into. I can't believe that people were screaming about Tua.
Well, Tua's insane.
It's tough. They're tough out there. I actually like Atlanta minus 2.5 here, as
Yeah.
well. Coming off a bye week, they played well against the Jets.
With
Unfortunately,
no pass catchers.
nobody on nobody on offense. They finally unlocked Kyle Pitts, who's now going to be a problem. Their defense played okay
Yeah.
against a pretty decent coming together offensive line for the Jets. They made Zach Wilson look silly at times. Matt Ryan looked okay. He didn't do anything silly.
Yeah.
He really didn't. If Hayden Hurst doesn't fumble 2 times like a dummy,
Yeah.
honestly, like a dummy, the Falcons are blowing the Jets out. They're up 17-0. It would have been 20. It would have been 24-0, 24-7. It would have been done if Hayden Hurst doesn't fumble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I like it. I don't think they're a half point. Well, it's actually flipped, right? So Miami's getting points at home.
Yes.
So this is one. So this is why. This is. So this is why I was maybe thinking about changing, but Atlanta's my second best bet of the week, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Atlanta is my second best bet because I have no idea what Miami can do to even score on Atlanta. Atlanta has a pretty decent defense. That's all they have, really. Like their offense is what's stagnant. But Mike Davis could run, right? The Jets did pretty well at hold. That's what the Jets do. Miami has no offensive line. They can't stop. They can't stop a nosebleed.
Yeah, they can just throw it to Waddle. That's the only option they had. That's the only guy that's.
They're not
going to
throw. They're not going to throw it a while against Atlanta.
Yeah.
They're not going to. Atlanta's getting healthy off the bye week. Their problem was their nickel is their best player. Everyone. I mean, he's not coming back, but Avery Williams is coming back. This is my second best bet. So I really love Green Bay as my first best bet. This is my second best bet, Atlanta, and I really love Tennessee. So the first 3 games here, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
Might be going into 1 o'clock window this week.
Yeah, I have a busy 1 o'clock personally. We'll be watching the Jets, Patriots. I'm going to the Nets Hornets game in Barclays.
Yep.
And we got the Knicks game at night. I mean, it's busy. The 1 o'clock might be flooded. I might need to hold that extra battery with me this week.
What's better sports-wise, and it's a little off topic, is this month, like mid-October to mid-November, is this a better sports quote-unquote month, like 4-week stretch, or is March Madness better? Would you rather
100% right now.
Right? People online today were saying that March Madness is still better. I think this is it, man. You got basketball. People are like, oh, I don't care about basketball and I don't care about hockey until the playoffs. Well, you guys are losers then because basketball is electric right now. Knicks were unbelievable last night.
The Garden was insane yesterday. First-hand experience, I'm telling you. Oh, the thing with baseball is it's such a local. Well, I mean, we're getting really off topic, but such a localized sport that. And if it's in your town or in your city that you really care about playoff baseball.
I was just standing up and cheering for the Dodgers a minute ago when they were hitting runs because I hate the Braves.
Yeah, but that's a local thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you're local, because you have a rivalry against your local team. That's why you're upset. Like, I want nothing to do with the ALCS. I want nothing. I have no interest at all in watching that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we got everything going right now.
But anyway, speaking of getting everything going, speaking of 1 o'clock, speaking of the bye week, and speaking about how I'm a lunatic, the New York Jets, Greg, the 1-4 against the spread, and they are what their record says they are. In this case,
We stink.
we stink, man. No. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No matter how you look at it, we stink right now. Bro, coming off a bye week, this is the second time versus the New England Patriots. I was at that week 2 game where, I mean, we just interception after interception after interception in the first half, but we were still in the game in the second half.
True.
And Zach Wilson's throwing duds for no reason, right? So weird. At New England this time, man, in Foxborough.
Yep.
-7.5. What do you got here?
Jets all day. People are on the Patriots. People love the Patriots.
Explain yourself here.
I'm fading the public. I'm such a square. I came into this. I was like, oh, New England, no problem.
We know, dude.
Dallas.
We know you're a square, Greg.
Yeah, and that's why I got to switch it up. I got to stay sharp. I was 4-10 last week, and I was right. I was with Vegas. We got screwed. So now we're coming back. We're taking everyone's money this week. 7.5 is what we got it at. 7 if you can get it right now. That's beautiful as long as you get above a touchdown. I think we keep it close. I think the over-under is low. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be ugly, but I think we keep it within the touchdown right here. I like the Jets on the road, off a bye week, going to New England. I don't know.
But Greg, I have a serious question.
A little letdown spot for New England after such a crazy game last week. I don't know.
What about CJ Mosley?
The bye week might have beat us this week, as incredible as it is. I feel like the bye week has killed us the last 10 years in a row. And yeah, if
CJ Mosley's out with a hamstring.
Mosley's out, it's a problem.
I cannot endorse taking the Jets if CJ Mosley's out.
So no,
I legitimately can. I cannot. It's just not. It could happen. It could hit, but it's just not an intelligent bet. Honestly, it's just not.
Again, another good reason to follow our Twitter account. We'll have material changes up until kickoff. Could be a material change. If CJ Mosley's not in, he's our defensive play caller. He's the heart and soul of our defense when he's playing. Yeah. If he's not playing, it could be a problem.
What would you... since you're Mr. Sharp this week.
Always.
How much is CJ Mosley worth? Just say you're the bookmaker right now and he's out. How much? What does that line go to?
9.5. 2 points.
I was thinking that 2 points. That's a lot, but in this case, I honestly think it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that sounds square of us because nobody in the league is really worth 2 points on, but to the Jets, CJ Mosley honestly is worth 2 points.
That's what I'm saying. We have so few actual playmakers on our team.
Yeah. He's worth a full touchdown if we're being quite honest, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's no such thing as that, but it's like really worth it. But anyway.
Yep. Jets.
All right, moving on.
Who are you taking in that one?
If Mosley plays, I'm taking the Jets. If Mosley's not playing, I'm taking the Patriots. But I'm not taking anything, obviously, in this game.
I like it.
But right now, for us, for purposes of our record, that's what I'm taking. We could change it. That's what I'm taking. If CJ, my pick is with Mosley. That's it.
Perfect. If Mosley plays, you're on the Jets. I like it.
All right. And I mean, this you mentioned it, man, because of the bye weeks, only 2 more games in the 1 o'clock. It's kind of wild. Wild. You want to go to the what am I missing pick of the week, or you want to go to you want to go to the best game of the 1 o'clock?
I want to go to the what am I missing game because I want to hear your thoughts on it, because I was all over the underdog in this one, and I ended up switching to the favorite. So we're talking, I believe, about the Carolina Panthers going to the New York Giants.
Your Carolina Panthers.
My Carolina Panthers. So that's my thing, is I was taking the Giants at first plus 2.5. I got to take Carolina. You say Sam Darnold stinks. I say he hasn't been playing good. Tomato. He started out okay. He hasn't been good the last couple of weeks. I think this is a prime get-right game for him. Robbie Anderson comes back to New York. Sam Darnold comes back to New York.
Listen, if they're depending on Robbie Anderson, then you just change your whole pick.
Game-timing touchdown. Game-tying touchdown last week.
Stop.
He was unbelievable.
Stop.
Unbelievable when it mattered. Who's not unbelievable when it mattered? The whole Giants offense, because everyone's hurt. 5 wide receivers on the injury report this week. Evan Ingram on the injury report this week. Saquon
That's
Barkley
a
on the injury
that's a
report.
that's an addition by subtraction.
7 offensive weapons on the injury report this week for the Giants. They have nobody. They've had nobody, and now they have less than nobody. Giants are home getting points. I love Carolina. They're on a skid right now. If they're going to have a shot to get this over and a shot to make the playoffs this year, they have to win this one. They have to win this one convincingly. I'm going Carolina minus 2.5 on this one. What are you thinking about this game?
This is my what am I missing pick of the week.
Because it should be 14 points.
Because, yeah, as you said, the Giants stink. Danny Jones addicted to turnovers. The Giants can't get anything together, especially at home.
Yeah,
The Giants stink at home, man.
Yep. And we saw it last
So
week with the
bad.
Rams. They were one of my best bets.
Yeah, you were all over that. You changed my mind on that so quick. You're like, what are you talking about, man? The Rams, and I was with you.
Yeah.
And
The
honestly,
game was
that's
over in
why
the first quarter.
we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But that's why I'm on the Rams this week too, because dude, just the Rams or whatever. We'll get there. But on the Giants, this game should be 7.5.
Yeah.
Like 6.5, you know what I mean? If you want to like kind of, or 5.5, you want to be annoying. You know what I mean? Carolina's always like in the 5.5 range. You know what I mean? Plus 2.5 for the Giants at home. That's it. That's what I mean. That's what the Miami Atlanta spread is. That makes no sense to me. So just based on that, I have to take the Giants.
Yep.
Just based
smart.
on that. But you called me out on it, Greg, and honestly, you're right. There are certain players for me. If they're out, I just cannot take this team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the guy you think it is. It's not C-Mac.
Shaq
Because
Thompson.
Shaq Thompson. Because Hubbard has been good. Shaq Thompson's out. Carolina defense stinks. They of course the cornerback got hurt and everything was changed from there. They got someone else. Everything's okay. It's decent now. But if no Shaq Thompson, Carolina Panthers can't do anything. And you're dealing with a desperate Giants team. They're desperate.
Joe Judge is on the hot seat for sure.
They need to win this game. And if there's any quarterback that they're going to be able to get turnovers off of, it's honestly Sam Darnold. Like he turns the ball over. And if it's a close game at the end, I kind of like the Giants to sometimes like do wacky stuff and like almost put it away. Sometimes they put it away at the end. Most of the time it's on the road. But
yeah,
I mean, they might get booed this week, so they might feel like they're on the road. You know what I mean?
You see Leonard Williams talking about that last week about the fans and stuff like that. I mean, Williams,
my man Leo. I mean, he got paid.
Yeah, facts.
So this is my what am I missing? I've been killing it on the what am I missing picks every single week. So when the line just makes absolutely no sense, man, you just have to do it.
Yep.
So this week it's the Giants for me. And that brings us to the best game of the week, in my opinion, the best actual football game of the week, and it's a division game.
Oh, before we move on though.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Giants at home stink. Carolina make it my best bet. Carolina gets right. Carolina does it together. I'm going Carolina. Best bet for me. It's my second best bet of the week.
Are you betting with your heart here because you need the Panthers?
There's nobody to play. The Giants have so many injuries. It's unbelievable. Andrew Thompson's out. I mean, they just have people injured.
Andrew Thomas. Okay,
yeah.
what's the but he's already out. That's already baked in. We already know that. What's the public?
Public on this one.
Is it because you've been fading the public? If you're gonna make it your best bet,
I have been, but I
feel like it has to be Carolina.
I think there's 2 spots where I didn't, and the 2 spots are my best bets. Yeah, Carolina's the
okay.
public. So
right,
Carolina
so the Green Bay one. So the Green Bay
Bay
one's definitely gonna lose. All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my one loss to the best bets because I usually get one loss, so that's gonna be my one. All right.
Yep. Yep.
or double down on it. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, okay, yeah. Do you have anything else on the Carolina
Nope.
Giants? All right. So moving on to what I imagine is the best game of the 1 o'clocks, maybe the best game of the entire week.
Not a great week.
Surprisingly, Cincinnati at Baltimore. Baltimore can't lose a game. Doesn't matter. Every single week, they no matter what you need them to do, they'll do it. If you need them to go in a shootout, they'll go in a shootout. If you need them to run the ball, they'll run the ball. If you need them to win a scrappy turnover, disgusting game, they'll win those. That's like those are the kind of teams that advance. I mean,
They dominated the 4-1 or 4-2 Chargers last week. They dominated them.
killed it.
It was
Absolutely
unbelievable.
killed
I
it.
mean, I was watching that game because I bet the over actually in that one. And Chargers went down the field. They should have had a pass interference call on Mike Williams in the end zone on the first drive. They didn't get it. After that, it was just ugly all day long, all day long. And Baltimore was moving the ball. Baltimore was looking great. I mean, they're banged up like you can't believe, and they keep putting it together. Lamar Jackson's just that guy. The defense showed up last week. I've been skeptical about the defense all season long, but they really locked it down. They look incredible. But for all those reasons, it being a
Oh,
division game, I'm taking the
oh.
points. Give me Cincinnati. Give me Joe Burrow. I'm going Cincinnati plus 6.5 in this one.
You know what, man? I, I wonder where the public is here, and I'll let you. I'll give you a second to pull that up. But I, I feel like my gut feeling is the sharp bet here would be to take Cincinnati, even though, and even though they've been playing better than Baltimore technically all year, but it just hasn't been as flashy, and it hasn't been on prime time.
Yeah, 58% of the money's on Baltimore right now.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this sharp bet. I mean, it's 50-50. It's just Baltimore at home is nice, man. I like
Yeah,
that. I
it's
really like
right
Baltimore at
under the
home.
touchdown number 2, which is good.
I think I'm taking the Ravens here. I'm gonna take Baltimore to really put a stamp on this division. This is one of those games where usually I would say that this is prime for Cincinnati to tie up the division, and we're gonna be kind of like at a head-to-head race now for the rest of the year to see who kind of comes out, the Ravens or the Bengals. But I actually think that Baltimore might put their foot on the gas here. I
I,
really do.
I'm making Cincinnati a best bet. I just think that if they come out, I think Baltimore, I've been saying it
Wow.
week after week, I have to get it right eventually. Huge letdown spot for Baltimore. I know what you're saying about pressing the gas and running away with it. I just don't think that happens in the NFL, and I really don't think it happens in the AFC North. So I think Cincinnati, they know that if they're going to win this division or have a chance to win this division, they already beat the Steelers on the road. If they get out there and they beat Baltimore on the road, then they have Cincinnati or they have Pittsburgh at home still. They have Baltimore at home still, and then they have a couple games against Cleveland, maybe one game against Cleveland. I don't know if they played them already.
I don't
Um,
hate this bet. I don't hate Cincinnati. I feel like Cincinnati is a sharp side, but look, I'm not taking Kansas City, man. Just let me take Baltimore at home 6.5.
I mean,
I
Baltimore's
gotta
been
get I
doing
gotta get
good.
some Joe. I gotta get some, Joe the better bets out here every week, and I think Baltimore is my one. I guess and Green Bay.
Yeah, for me, it's yeah. I mean, I have three 1 o'clock best bets, so I'm gonna be screaming in the 1 o'clock window.
So on to the fours.
Okay.
Anything else on the ones?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
You got your wish this week. It's pretty nicely spread out. We got 4 o'clocks.
Thank you.
Can't ask for anything more than that.
You can ask for some better games in these 4 o'clock windows. I mean, this looks like it's gonna be blowout city in the 4 o'clock window.
You think that okay? I don't think this game is gonna be a blowout. See, we got Philly at Vegas. Vegas, as we had predicted last week, coming off that emotional game with no Gruden, they're ready to go here. Now they're coming home. Is that emotion gonna stick with them? Is Philly gonna come back and actually do something? Vegas minus 3.5 is an interesting number. I think that they're begging you to take Philadelphia. The good news is I cannot ever get the Philadelphia Eagles right. I've been okay with them this year so far, but generally I cannot get Philadelphia right. Like I got them right against Tampa last week. I've been riding them okay. Greg, I don't know if I can do it this week. I think I'm taking Vegas at home. I think the emotion
Really?
is gonna ride home because that 3.5 is just a half point. Vegas is just a half point better than Philly. Is that what anything says? Like, what's the like? What's the like? This might be my hold your nose runner up
Yeah.
because this should be 7.5, and I don't understand it. And I'm tend to lean on the Vegas side rather than on the Eagles side of the what's going on here. You know what I mean? I feel like they want me to take Philly because everyone's always like, oh yeah, Philly's gonna pull it together. I mean, they always have the underdog. Yeah, we don't who cares who's playing. We're gonna pull it together.
Yeah, but
Vegas doesn't have a coach. That's all everyone's talking about. It's all everyone's thinking about. Gruden. Nobody cares about John Gruden. That doesn't make a difference on the field with the points. I like Vegas at home, man, especially their first game with the emotions at home. I still think that emotion is going. The fans got to get it out of their system.
yeah, I agree with that for sure. The only thing that worries me is I feel like I might be reading into this a little too much, but I don't feel like, again, just from watching the games, not looking at any statistics on this, I don't feel like Las Vegas closes games out very well. And I feel like Philadelphia closes games out like really well. Like they are in it late. They are trying to score. They're trying to cover. We saw it with Tampa Bay. We saw it against Carolina the week before. I mean, Carolina, they scored a touchdown with 8 seconds left in the third quarter for the first touchdown of the game, and they ended up coming back and winning that. Um, I think that there's a couple other games where they just were I just remember looking at the ESPN like game cast, and it's just like Hurts in third and fourth quarter, just touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. So I feel like Philadelphia hangs around in these games, plays tough in the first half, but actually starts scoring in the second half. I feel like Las Vegas is kind of the opposite. I feel like Las Vegas kind of lets up on the gas a little bit. They end up going to overtime. They end up kicking these last second field goals and
Bro, Jalen
stuff.
Hurts is not getting any yards against this Raiders team.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think they're
mean,
gonna stop Waller. Well, okay, that's fine. You got
yeah,
Philly?
I hope not. I have Waller in fantasy, so I hope they don't. But I just think
You taking
I
Philly?
think it's gonna be close. I'm taking Philadelphia plus 3.5. We saw it the other week with Miami covering against Vegas again, the three and a
You're
half.
hoping for a hook.
Yeah, 3.5. I mean, I'll take it. I think Philadelphia is a little sneakier. They're frisky. They're not good at it by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think Vegas is as good as 4-2, and I don't think Philadelphia is as bad as 2-4. So I think this
Okay,
game's
fair
close. There's a
enough.
reason why it's 3.5. I mean, we say home team should be -3, so it's pretty
I think they're
even
begging
according
you
to
to take
Vegas.
Philly. That's why.
Yep, they are. But again, the public's on Vegas. So I'm taking Philadelphia in this one.
All right. And that brings us to the three double-digit spread games,
Crazy.
all in all, just consecutive. You're right. The 4 o'clock window is going to be quite an eyesore, but I think it's going to be fun, honestly, to watch.
It's gonna be points,
You
points,
got
points. Hopefully.
hopefully, man, because the first one is Detroit at the Rams. Rams are minus 15.5. And I know that sounds crazy, and I know that makes you want to just take Detroit because like it's outside the football number too. Like 15.5 is nuts. But I honestly think the Rams with Jared Goff coming to town are going to win by 25. I think I don't think this is a problem. I think
Yeah,
15.5 is fine. Just take it.
yeah. I think there's a lot of people on the Rams who like feel like Jared Goff is a reason why they didn't achieve at the highest level, and I think that there's a shot for them to really rub it in
Kill
them.
him.
And now that he's on the
Aaron
0
Donald's
6
gonna kill him.
Lions, I mean, it seems like so when I was looking at this again to start, I was like, all right, me personally, it depends on the matchup, but when I see these big time favorites, I like taking them because these teams are just like head and shoulders better than the other team. There's a lot of parity in the NFL, but when you have these matchups, I'm talking about the 5-1 Super Bowl contending LA Rams at home against the winless Detroit Lions. The head coach is crying and stuff. So, I don't like that at all. They didn't show up last week. I don't think they're going to show up this week. This is a tough spot for them. 15.5 points, though. Points are hard to score in the NFL. I'm taking the points. This is actually my hold my nose pick of the week. I think that you're looking at backdoor covers. I think the Rams get out early like they did against the Giants. But I do think that Detroit has a little bit more gas in the tank, a little more juice than the Giants do offensively. So I think that, especially if Hawkinson plays, I think there's a shot that they're covering this late in the game. It's just too many points. 15.5 is a lot. Give me 15.5 in Detroit in this one. This is my hold my nose pick of the week.
All right. Then we got the Houston Texans at the 6-0, my division favorite, your
Love it.
MVP, Kyler Murray, Arizona 6-0 Cardinals, minus 18.5, man. This is too much for me. This is outside the number for me. This is out of pocket. Give me 18.5. I don't care, man. I like you sneak in a field goal here, you're covering.
Yeah, you get one crazy touchdown, and you should be good for the whole game. I mean, I kind of like the Arizona in this one again, too. Again, when the points are this high, I think these teams just kill these teams, especially in the NFL. Like,
this is too much. Houston knows. Houston knows it's 18.5. They're going to cover this, man.
The reason why I'm taking Houston in this one, too, is because Tyrod might be back. So if Tyrod comes back and he's playing,
that's a hot take. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, if he's practicing, I think this week. So if he's playing this week, Davis Mills, see you later.
That's huge.
It's been fun. Tyrod comes back. They get a little juice going with some of these guys. They get paid to play football too. So even though they're 1-5, 18.5 points is just too many. I like this one. I like Houston 18.5. I'm out of best bets. People have been talking about Arizona. Are they for real? Are they not? I think Arizona's for real, for real. But 18.5, you're talking about 3 touchdowns. That's a lot of points in the NFL. So Houston 18.5, I'll take it all day.
All right. Moving on to the third double-digit 4 o'clock. Whew. This is the Matt Nagy Chicago Bears. I think we're not allowed to say his name anymore. I think I officially, I've been saying how much I hate this guy.
No, you haven't. No, you fucking haven't. You've been saying, oh, Tom Brady, now that he's in Tampa Bay, I don't care. I got the text messages. I got all the receipts done. Don't start this shit.
Listen, I was okay. I was okay with Tampa Bay. I was never okay with Tom Brady.
No, you're like, it's great. It's fun to watch him now. It's fun to watch. Fuck.
It's fine. Yeah, it didn't hurt my soul that he Tampa Bay winning didn't upset me.
Disgusting.
That didn't upset me. But I hate him, obviously, and especially this year that he's playing our division, and now that he just has to talk about us for no reason. Why are you talking about us, man? Because
he's a punk. He sucks. He's the worst kind of person. Everyone hates him. His whole team hates him. That's why he left. You're talking about
Green Bay and the Bears.
What's up?
They're talking about Aaron Rodgers owning the Bears.
Yeah.
Brings up it's not even worth it to own the Jets. He'd rather own the color green. I hate this guy.
I've hated him. I mean, I can't even talk about it. I hate him so much. I hate him from day one. I never stopped hating him. The hate will never stop. He's number one worst person all time on my list. He sucks.
So he's home, catching minus 12.5. What do you think, man?
Chicago Bears are gonna kill him. Khalil Mack is going to kill him. Hicks, all these guys. I know that one of their guys just got hurt. Was it Quentin something or other? I forget now. I want to say Quentin Nelson, but I know it's the lineman. But I think Chicago beat him last year. I think Chicago's got it going a little bit. Defense looks okay. They gave up a late touchdown to Aaron Rodgers. Otherwise, they're covering that game.
Khalil Mack didn't practice.
Khalil Mack's fine.
Neither did Hakeem Hicks.
These guys are fine. They're coming out strong. Neither
did Allen Robinson.
Chicago Bears are brother in arms in loser franchises. I have their back. They have our back. They are going for blood against Tom Brady. Trying
You
to get
heard it
out
here
all their
From
frustration.
the Eddie Barstool doppelganger himself.
Yeah, they're going to get out all their frustration about Aaron Rodgers this week. They're going to kill Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has no defense. They're going to
That's the thing.
they're going to shut
Okay,
down the
so
Tampa Bay
we've been joking
offense.
around. We've been joking around, since we mentioned this game a little bit, about like Tom
I
Brady,
haven't joked
about
about one word I said.
yeah, I know. But it's not all about emotion and about your heart here. It's about the Tampa Bay defense. The Tampa Bay defense, especially their secondary, stinks. Like
Yeah.
I actually think that the Bears could complete passes this week, which is unbelievable. That right there should be its own prop bet. Can the Chicago Bears complete passes? And I think this is the week. I think they're gonna move down the field. I think Colt Kmet is actually gonna have a decent week. I know that sounds insane. I think he might get a touchdown or two.
I love it.
I really like the Bears this week, man. And I think 12.5 is actually egregious. I cannot physically make the Chicago Bears my best bet. I just physically cannot do that. So in that case, it's my hold your nose pick of the week because nobody wants to take the Chicago Bears. No matter what the spread is, nobody wants to take the Chicago Bears against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Super Bowl, Tom Brady, all that nonsense. This is almost too easy for me. This Chicago plus 12.5.
I'm with
you.
You
mean to tell me Tampa can win by 10 and we're good to go here? They love to run down the clock. They don't care about covering. They want to knee it. They want to kick field goals. They just want to win the game by 1 and go home.
Yeah, Tom Brady's not a real football player. He just cares about the stats and all the accolades. He doesn't care about actual football.
All right.
He wants to get off the field as quick as possible.
No, he doesn't. He wants to stay on the field. That's his problem. He just wants to stay on the field, hold on, doesn't even care about the points, just hold possession and do his thing. And I Chicago runs the ball. I feel like Chicago, their offensive woes are going to.
I can't wait to start going through our group chat and take all the screenshots of you talking about Tom Brady this year. I can't believe the 180 that I just heard on this podcast.
I've never liked Tom Brady. That's a fact. I'm not worried about any receipts.
All right, check out the Winning Pick Weekly Twitter account later.
That's fine. that works. That works with me. The Primetime. I hate Tom Brady. Primetime. Indy at San Francisco. I'm starting to pull my Primetime picks a little bit. It come together a little bit.
Well, last week you mushed the shit out of me. I thought I was going to drag you up. You're like, oh, I suck at primetime. You doubled down on my picks. I was like, don't worry. I'll pull you up, John. I got you. We lost both of them Sunday night.
I told you to stay away.
Brutal.
We're back at primetime. Indy is missing their safety, which has been low-key one of their best defensive players. He's out this week. I hate that. T.Y. Hilton had an amazing week. He might not even play this week. I hate that. I know Indy's been killing it. Indy's at San Francisco. San Francisco's minus 3.5. Just give me the home team minus 3.5. I think San Francisco, like Chicago, they really remind me of each other for some weird reason. I feel like these offenses with Trey Lance, when Trey Lance plays, and when I'm like looking at Trey Lance, like it feels like I'm watching the Bears. Yeah. But anyway, and I feel like they have the same issues. I don't know. They're both weird, but I think this is the game where they're gonna kind of stomp on Indy, and we're gonna start thinking, is San Francisco real? I think this is the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised. Look at the injury report again. I think San Francisco was on a bye last week, if I'm not mistaken. And then all of a sudden on the injury report, you got Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. So
that's just an old Billy Belichick trick, just to put Tom Brady on with a shoulder. He was questionable
every game.
Dude, speaking of, I don't know why we're talking about this guy. He's been a big subject of this pod today. But do you remember when this guy had every single game that he was active, he had a shoulder, except for the one time he played the Jets, so they took him off the injury report. Like they're just all these little subtle things that don't even mean anything make me hate them so much.
Yeah, he's the worst type of person. Like I said, his whole
Billy
team
B.
hated him. He had to leave.
Billy B. Anyway, what do you got in this game, man?
Indianapolis Colts plus 3.5. On the
Why's that?
road, they're gonna get it going a little bit. They've been moving in the right direction. They started out bad. They should have beat the Ravens that week.
You like Carson Wentz in prime time right now?
Love it, love it. I'm
Carson
addicted.
Wentz in prime
I'm
time.
addicted to Carson Wentz. You know who I'm actually addicted to is Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he's just running over people. He looks like a mini Derrick Henry out there, just running and running and running. I like this. I like this offense. I think 3.5 points. Again, you're getting the hook. I think it's 50-50 right now, betting wise. But Sunday night, give me the points. Give me the ugly pick. I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts coming into San Francisco and getting this win.
Fair enough. On to Monday night, man. And I honestly have a really, really simple philosophy. This is New Orleans Saints at the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks plus 5.5. It's a very easy philosophy, man. Okay. This is why it's my best bet. It's very easy.
Let me hear it.
Bet against Geno Smith.
Okay.
The easiest philosophy you could possibly for your whole life. Just keep that in your mind. If it ever comes up, bet against Geno Smith. Best bet, New Orleans. This spread could be 87. What was what's the highest? 44 or something?
Yeah.
44.5. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll willingly lose 44.5. I don't care what it is. You bet against Seattle Seahawks are bottom 5 in every single category. Defense,
best
offense.
in the league.
Best in the nation.
Best in the nation.
Right? They have a safety who wants to be a linebacker. They literally.
Meanwhile, right next to his name, it says best in the nation. His PFF ranks like 66 out of 80.
That's that safety. He doesn't even think he's a safety.
Yeah.
Who cares?
So you're going to New Orleans Saints. I am going New Orleans Saints. I think the Saints are a better road team than a home team right now.
It's my third best bet.
So weird. I love that it's your best bet. I think Seattle's just banged up all over the place, offensively, defensively.
Geno
they squeaked it out last week for the cover against Pittsburgh. I think New Orleans is better than Pittsburgh. New Orleans also too. I forget the names now, but they were getting 2 guys back after the bye week on defense. And let me pull those guys up because they're big-time pieces for them. So I think that New Orleans, like I said, again, better a road team than they are a home team. I'm happy with the way they look. I just realized, too, this is one of the weirdest quarterback matchups of all time. You got Geno Smith versus Jameis Winston.
I know.
On Monday night primetime.
Dude, Geno Smith right now is getting the audition of his life. He's never gonna get this again.
You're gonna see some wild plays.
I watched every single snap this guy took in college and in the NFL once upon a time. I even watched his practice throws. He was on my team. I did all of that. We drafted him. I went through all this. He stinks, Greg. The guy stinks at football.
I don't know. I remember being in someone's dorm or in someone's common room. Everyone was cheering when we drafted him. I fucking hated him from day one.
I mean,
doesn't throw it.
You want me to cry when we draft somebody? All I was thinking about was that 6 touchdown game with West Virginia. I was like, all right, you spin zone it.
Yeah,
what do you want me to do? Anyway.
Yep. I can't find it now. But yeah, I like Seattle, or I like New Orleans Saints against Seattle. Like I said, I think they're going to get the offense going a little bit. The defense is going to be a little bit stronger. And Seattle's just hanging on for dear life. Too many injuries. Defense just stinks. Injuries or not. Home team getting points scares me a little bit, but Geno Smith is the quarterback. I'm with you. Just bet against them. You'll make money in the long run, so.
Honestly, bet this up to 13.5. I don't care.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so we got our picks for the week. Best bets again. Mine's Green Bay, Carolina, Cincinnati. You got Green Bay, Atlanta, and the Saints. My hold my nose pick is Detroit, plus 15.5 on the road against the Rams. You're the Chicago Bears, plus 12.5 on the road against Tampa Bay. What are you thinking about for teasers and parlays? You got anything you want to throw out there? Or you want me to go first?
Greg, I think we had the same idea with our tease yourself teaser this week, man. I think we have the same idea. I think we're tailing each other on the tease yourself teaser because there are so many points,
So
man.
the too many tease yourself teaser tease of the week: Detroit plus 21.5, Chicago plus 18.5, Houston plus 23.5. You put all
Dude,
three of
these
those
numbers
together,
are insane.
you get plus 140 odds. So you're getting plus money. It is ugly. It is disgusting. But you have to lose by 3 touchdowns and a field goal in some of these. It's
Come on.
unbelievable. A lot of our best bets are in the 1 o'clock window. So take some of that money that you win with our best bets in the 1 o'clock window. Put this 4 o'clock tease yourself teaser in. Make sure you get it in before the 4:05 kickoff, and you're gonna get plus money on that. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know what we called it a second ago, but that's our too many points tease yourself teaser tease of the
Our
week.
3 possession tease yourself too many
Yeah,
points teaser.
unbelievable, unbelievable.
So
And then my
yeah,
Hail Mary.
we're rolling with each other there, man. We're this is our get right week.
Yep. Yeah, and then my Hail Mary parlay. You were talking about it earlier. These are the long shot stuff. You have to hit one or two of these to make a little money this year. I'm going underdog money lines this week. I'm taking Indiana money line, Cincinnati money line, and Tennessee money line. Again, those are all underdogs, and you're gonna get plus 2,500 odds on that. So $100 gets you 2,500 if all three of those hits. Not crazy underdogs. Again, Indianapolis is 3.5. Cincinnati might be the biggest one at 6.5, and Tennessee is 5.5. So, and the nice thing too about that is you got two in the 1 o'clock window. So if you want to hedge out for the Sunday night game with Indianapolis, you can throw $1,000 on the opposite team, San Francisco, and hedge it out. But yeah, that's my Hail Mary parlay of the week. Just a 3-teamer, nothing too crazy. Just taking some money line underdogs.
All right, for my Hail Mary parlay, I'm gonna keep it somewhat conservative.
Okay.
Kind of just simple, man. I'm just gonna go with 4 regular spreads. We're just gonna parlay 4 regular spreads together. Just at the minus 110. We're gonna take the Saints because you're gonna have to sweat this out till Monday night. You're gonna have to sweat out Geno Smith. You're just gonna have to do it. It's part of the deal.
Yep.
You're gonna add on the Vegas home crowd, Grudenless, blackout, Halloween coming up.
Yep.
I mean, this is the time for them to shine in their new stadium. And then you're gonna throw in Atlanta and Green Bay. Just take all those spreads. It's a long shot, especially with the Green Bay spread. It's hard.
Yep.
You put all those together, plus 500, just call it a day.
Love it.
All right, man. And that wraps up really week 7. You want to go through the slate to wrap this off as we usually do?
Yeah, let's go through it.
All right. So I honestly have no idea what happened in the second half.
Neither have I. I'm so excited to look at. You want me to look it up real quick?
All right, look it up. We'll leave it to the end.
Okay.
So we got Washington at Green Bay. This is, of course, my best bet, as we just mentioned. And you're on it, too, as your best bet. So we have another double best bet. Dallas hit. On it again with Green Bay. On to your favorite Kansas City, Tennessee, who never covers at Tennessee plus 5.5. We know you have Tennessee there.
All day.
And so do I. Going on to Atlanta versus Miami. I mean, these 1 o'clocks are crazy. I got a best bet in Atlanta. What do you got?
I'm taking Miami plus 2.5. The Dolphins.
Oh, okay. Oh, my goodness. You're actively taking the Dolphins. Good luck to you, sir. Then we got the Jets plus 7.5 at New England. What do you got?
Jets plus 7.5.
All right, I'm contingent on this game, man. I have to have a contingency game. If Mosley's in, I'm in. If not, I'm on the Pats. Got Carolina at the Giants. What do you got here?
Carolina minus 2.5.
This is my what am I missing of the week? This game should be Carolina minus 11.5. With no Shaq Thompson, especially, I got to take the desperate Giants here. They're going to be 2-5. Carolina's going to have a losing record, and everyone's going to finally come to their senses that Sam Darnold stinks. Cincinnati at Baltimore. I think best game of the whole week. Baltimore -6.5. What do you got here?
Cincinnati plus 6.5 is one of my best bets.
I could see that. I mean, it's the best game for a reason. Division rivals. It should be close. I think that Cincinnati is the sharp play, but this is like me picking Kansas City all the weeks. I'm on Tennessee this week, so there's always that one game where I just can't stop looking at the light. I got to go towards it even if it's bad for me. This week it's Baltimore -6.5, and that wraps up for the 1 o'clocks. You got Philly at Vegas. I mean, if you've been listening to this episode at all, you know I'm all over Vegas, man. It's my hold your nose runner up. It's in my Hail Mary parlay. I got Vegas -3.5. What do you got here?
I got Philly plus 3.5.
All right. Moving on, we got Detroit plus 15.5 at the Rams.
This is my hold my nose pick of the week. It's ugly, it's disgusting, but we're covering 15.5 Detroit.
Oh, your best bet. You have best bet Carolina too.
Yep, I got Green Bay, Carolina, Cincy. Yep.
Wow, that's a crossfire that I just caught. So that's my what am I missing? And then you have a best bet. That's a big one, Greg. That's
a lot
big
going on in that game. A lot going on.
We're gonna have to circle back and see what happens.
Yep.
Moving on to more stinkers in the 4 o'clock. Just double digits is part of our.
Real quick though, Detroit Lions. You got the Rams in that game.
Yes.
Yep.
This is part of our triple teaser. Too many points. Tease. Houston at Arizona. Arizona -18.5. What do you got here?
Houston plus 18.5. Arizona wins it though. They go to 7-0. Division odds looking great. Kyler Murray odds looking great. To make the playoff odds looking great. But they're covering
and
Houston
look
Texans.
Out for Tyrod Taylor.
Yep.
Tyrod.
Yep, Tyrod. Yep.
All right. And then we got my hold your nose pick of the week against a man who I denounce. I've always denounced.
I don't know about that.
I have pictures. I have pictures in parking lots of me denouncing. I can provide counter evidence to any evidence you provide. Chicago plus 12.5 at Tampa Bay. I got hold your nose. Hold your nose. Take Chicago, man. Just hold your nose. Tampa Bay secondary stinks.
I'm with you. Tom Brady wants to take the color green. He wants to take Tom Terrific. He's an idiot. 10 ways from Sunday. He's stupid. Chicago all the way. Khalil Mack will hurt him at some point. I know it. Do it for us, Khalil. Chicago plus 12.5.
Listen,
you're not Tom Terrific. All right?
I was thinking today, because I saw that video about the Jets, and then like some random Knicks fan was just screaming about Tom Brady, which I literally love. That everyone hates Tom Brady as much as I do, and he's coming to Tampa Bay versus Jets January 2nd or something like that.
Okay.
And all I'm thinking is, we brought you into this world, man. Like we it would be poetic justice if we take him out, man. Oh my goodness. I would hang up that on my wall.
I don't root for injuries unless
Super
it's Tom
Bowls.
Brady.
Some people hang up Super Bowls and stuff. Like I would hang up
the picture.
That'd be great. But yeah.
Giselle will be out there on the press conference for him because he can't handle his own media.
You have like a whole montage of that. Like that'd be great. Anyway. Moving on to the prime times, which I usually stink at. Indy at San Francisco. Lucky for you, I got San Francisco -3.5 because of the safety that's out for the Colts. I think is a problem.
I got Indy plus 3.5.
Well, lucky for you, man. Guys, take note of that one.
Yep.
And then we got New Orleans Saints at Seattle. My automatic best bet every single week is against Geno Smith. I don't care what team he's playing on. Does not matter. Geno Smith is getting the ball. You bet against the other team. Doesn't matter what the spread is. I don't care that he covered last week. Does not matter. The fact that he covered last week makes me love the Saints even more.
Makes you want to double down on it. Yep.
Yeah, it makes me want to take it tenfold.
I'm with you. New Orleans all the way.
And that wraps it up, guys. Another episode. Week 7. You know where to catch us. Knicks, Jets, etc. YouTube at Winnings Picks Weekly. We have the Knicks playlist, the Jets playlist, the gambling playlist. We have another playlist coming up that we're going to tease.
Yep.
Coming up soon. And then we have, the Knicks season, dude. The Knicks season's here.
Yeah, basketball's here for real.
Tune in for the Jets, for Knicks, Jets, etc. stuff. But as always, man, comment on our YouTube, inbox us, DM us like you guys have been. We'll be getting back to you. Hit us up. We'll be trying to be a little bit more active on Sundays during the games.
Yep.
Maybe throw a little college bets, see what you guys have, and let us know how we can improve, guys.